Hey y'all, what up? It's your girl Platinum B, and I almost said my podcast thing that I always say, but welcome to another video. It's been about 2 years. Yeah, 2 years since I've done the last video. I think the last video was either my Lil Wayne commercial I made for class or, the After Hours video by the weekend. So yeah, it's been a while. I hope everybody's doing well. Just a reminder for those of you who are just watching this or if you've already seen this before, I have AirPods in my ears. If you see that's because I'm completely blind, and as I'm holding my phone, I'm using a screen reader, which is basically something that reads everything on the screen. It's called VoiceOver. It's available on all Apple products. But anyway, what it's doing is it's telling me as I'm looking at the camera, moving the phone around, whether I have the phone level, whether my face is in or not. And I learned if I have my headphones out, y'all are going to be able to hear voiceover, which I'm pretty sure y'all don't want to hear when you're trying to watch a video. So, that's why I'm wearing AirPods. Plus my voiceover speaks really fast. Anyway, also, I wanted to let you guys know, before I forget, I do have a podcast out. I started in 2020. If you're interested in hip-hop, or if you just want to check it out, it's called Hip Hop in the After Hours. It's under my name, Platinum B, PLATNUMB. I put out episodes every week. So yeah, if you want to check it out, the link will be in the description. For this video, it's gonna be a little different. I thought, I consider this channel as a music channel. But because, I usually have someone help me record my covers, I haven't really had a chance to get someone to help me, so that's why you haven't seen a lot of videos from me lately. So, yeah, that's what's going on. Until I find a way to do it on my own, that's why y'all haven't seen many videos. But this video is going to be a little different. I do have a few videos on this channel about my blindness, whether it's a game or browser get input or whatever. Well, this one's going to be a little different. This video is about Tamagotchi. Yes, you heard me right, Tamagotchi. If you don't know what a Tamagotchi is, it's a keychain. Okay. I mean, if you don't know, you've been living under a rock, but basically it's a virtual pet on a keychain. It's an egg-shaped device with 3 buttons and a small screen, and it has a virtual pet creature inside that you take care of, play with, clean, give it medicine, discipline, all that, like a normal pet. It was very, very, very popular in the 90s. And just to give you a little history on my Tamagotchi experience. So, when I was really little, I think it was for Christmas, my parents got me a Tamagotchi. And then I don't know if it was another holiday or what it was, but someone got us a couple more Tamagotchi, or 1 or 2 more Tamagotchis. And I was really little, y'all. Really little. I was a little kid, I don't know how old. But I know I was real, real young. And I'm 29 now. But I remember it. I remember it a lot. I used to love those things. I remember my brother and me, I think we were fighting over one at one point. Anyway, so I got a Tamagotchi, and I think 2002 or 2003, it died. My dad thought it was just the batteries, so we tried putting new batteries in, and it still wasn't working. So basically, yeah, I was the Android Tamagotchi for a long, long time. And I remember when we went to Toys R Us, and asked if they had any more, and they said they weren't selling them, which kind of crazy because as I was researching Tamagotchi and how to help keep it alive, like trying to teach myself and asking for help and stuff these past few months, I've learned that there were actually more Tamagotchis throughout the years. Even now, there's a Tamagotchi, like a new one for like the younger kids. It's called Tamagotchi Pigs, and apparently, like, it has a camera on it, and it's like touchscreen and stuff. But yeah, that's basically my Tamagotchi. And like I said, I got introduced to micro pets because I still wanted like a virtual pet kind of a thing. So yeah, and then for Christmas, 2021, my sister and her boyfriend, shout out to them, they got me original Gen 1 Tamagotchi. And hopefully I don't screw this up, but it's asleep. It's asleep. It's like if it's dirty or unhappy, I can't help that. I can't do anything until it wakes up. But yeah, this, I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't know if it's even level enough. Oops. This is a Tamagotchi, and I'm going to explain it to blind people in a minute. But the point of this video, because I know there's a bunch of videos out there, there's a bunch of videos that are basically guys taking care of a Tamagotchi, but they're very visual. And it didn't really help me too much as a blind person. And I tried Googling stuff online, and it didn't help me because all they were talking about were symbols. And again, as a completely blind person, I can't see symbols. So that absolutely didn't help. I had my mom confirm as soon as I found like a better, at least one of the best text guides I could find that actually had the menus of order. I had my family confirm it, and yeah. So I had to memorize that. Basically what this is this is going to be a guide for blind people. If you guys ever want a Tamagotchi or you have one, this is for y'all. This is for anybody, really, but sighted people are more than welcome to chime in and watch and listen, whatever, comment. But this is definitely toward blind people because I'm not going to be talking about symbols and stuff like that on this video. I'm going to be talking about it the way I know how to navigate Tamagotchi and care for it as a blind person. So, this is for y'all. I just want to let y'all know, again, because I know some parents, they think Tamagotchi was visual, and it is. It's not. I'm not gonna lie. It is a little visual. But there's still ways around being able to play and keep a Tamagotchi alive as a completely blind person or low vision. I will say, even if you're low vision, you still might have a hard time reading the screen or seeing it. Because my dad's sighted, and he was having a hard time seeing it. The screen's really, really small, y'all. So, for my blind friends who are watching, Tamagotchi is basically an egg-shaped device, and on one end it has 3 buttons. In the middle it has a small screen. That's where the creature is, and the symbols, and stuff like that sighted people will see. Again, that's not going to matter to us. And at the other end is a keychain that you can hook on your purse or your backpack or whatever. So that's basically what a Tamagotchi feels like. Now, I have the Generation 1 Tamagotchi. Generation 1 and Generation 2 are basically the same thing from what I understand. The only difference is the way the eggs look and the games. The game on the Tamagotchi Gen 1, the one I have, is a direction game where you just guess which way Tamagotchi is looking. Generation 2 is a number game where you guess higher or lower. Either way, for us blind people, it'll be guessing. Sighted people have a way to beat the Gen 2 game, but I don't know if you'll be able to beat that if you can't read or see what the Tamagotchi is picking. So I think either game will be a guessing game for us. But I'll get into that in a minute. So Where do I begin? Again, Tamagotchi is a virtual pet inside your screen, like I said, in the device. Basically, from what the instructions say, it's like an alien that's come to our planet to learn what it's like to live on Earth. And yeah, you take care of it and all like your normal pet. Where do I start? I'm gonna start with the baby stage. Or even when you unpack it. When you unpack it, you're for sure gonna need help. So make sure the batteries are in, or if there's no batteries, make sure you put them in. Mine came with batteries in it, and they were still working, so I was good. Once you do that, you have to set the time, because if you don't, your egg won't hatch. What people are seeing on their screens is an egg, and it's bouncing up and down from what I understand. And again, you have to set the time. This is something completely visual that you're going to need help with. So ask someone sighted to help you set the time. I do have a little secret that I learned, and I'll teach you about that in a minute. Now, with the baby stage, this is going to be the most demanding stage on the Tamagotchi. It lasts an hour, so make sure when you hatch your egg or you start a new game, make sure you have time to take care of the little thing. It's gonna beep at you every 5 minutes. You're gonna need to feed it, clean it, play with it every 5 minutes. So yeah, baby stage is not easy, but it's still fun. I will warn you, this is the only time you feed it snacks. But for some reason, with the new releases of the Gen 1, Gen 2, P1, P2, Tamagotchis, and I learned this, shout out to Tamatalk.com. I found the site when I was Googling how to do certain things, and I signed up and I asked questions, and they really are a great place to ask questions. I explained that I'm blind, and they helped me so much. One thing I learned from them is that feeding Tamagotchi Gen 1, Gen 2, the new releases, snacks will kill them. I also found out that you can feed it snacks only as a baby, so that first hour, only feed it snacks then. Once it evolves, don't ever feed it any more snacks, because that will kill it early. What else? There is a mute function that you can do. And now, to be honest with y'all, unless you're really good at Tamagotchi and you know what you're doing, for a blind person, since we're going to have to rely on a lot of sounds with this thing, I wouldn't use this function unless you have to, pause it to, I don't know, if you're in a work meeting or if you're on an important phone call or whatever, not pause, mute sound. So, but if you do want to mute the sound, you press A and C together, and it's going to make a weird noise. Once you hear that, it's paused. And you can tell, because if you press buttons, you won't hear any sound. If you press A and C again, you'll hear another noise, and it should be unmuted. And you can know this because if you go to the menus, you'll hear it beeping. Now, speaking of menus, this is where I'm going to be explaining this for blind people. And hopefully this will help sighted people too, but this is not going to be symbols and arrows and stuff like that for sighted people, like the way that sighted people do their guides. This is going to be completely in a way that any blind person would be able to understand this. So try to follow along with me, and I'll help you out. So, we're going to have to use the counting method until you memorize the menus. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to hold the Tamagotchi with the buttons closest to you. or facing you, and the keychain further away at the end of the Tamagotchi. And if you're holding it that way, this is how you're supposed to hold it, from what I understand, from what my parents told me. Now, from left to right, there's 3 buttons. There's button A to the far left. The middle is C, hold on. Let me start that over. Button A is to the far left. The middle button is B. And the far right button is C. These are the 3 buttons and the only buttons on the Tamagotchi that you're going to use to do everything with it. Now your C button is going to be your safety. I call it a safety or an exit button. Anybody who uses like braille machines or computers know what I mean when I say exit button. C is your exit button, right? Okay, so A is going to be the button that you're going to scroll through menus. B is going to be the button that you select. So, let's start with going through the menus. So, let's say you want to feed your Tamagotchi. So, you're going to press A once. And I want to go through this because this one's a little confusing. So, if you want to feed your Tamagotchi, you press A once. Then you want to press B to select the food menu. So now, try to imagine this with me, you guys. You're in a sub-menu. So, you have snack and meal. So if you press A once, when you're in the food menu, that's meal. If you press it twice, that's snack. And remember again, after the baby stage, do not ever feed it snacks because you will kill the Tamagotchi. Unless you're trying to, then do it. But I wouldn't. If you want to keep it alive, don't do it after the baby stage. So what you're going to do is once you are in the food menu, like let's say you want to feed the meal. So you're going to, you're going to press A for the food menu one time, B to select, A once, that's the meal. And then you're going to press B 4 times. 4 because you're going to feed it 4 because, there's 4 hearts, apparently, from what I understand, that you gotta keep, filled. Now, I know we can't see them, but I feed it 4 times just to make sure that they're all filled. Remember, another thing to remember is, when you feed your Tamagotchi, it's gonna gain weight, like any person or animal would, right? And there's a way to decrease that, and I'll show you in a minute. Snacks, they increase the weight by 2. So if you feed it snacks, you're going to want to play the game twice as much longer. Yes, I said play the game, and I'll explain in a second. So, if you want to feed a snack, you're going to press A 1 time to go to the food menu, if you're not already in it. B to select, A twice, and then B twice, because snack only increases happiness. And again, makes it gain weight. So, happiness, all the hearts are 4 hearts. So, if you want to fill it happiness with snacks, then you only feed it 2, because it increases the happiness and weight by 2. From what I understand. If I'm wrong, somebody please comment. So that's the food menu, right? So once you're done feeding your Tamagotchi, you're gonna wait a few seconds, and then that menu will disappear and you'll be back in the main screen. So, let's go pressing A 2 times. That's the light menu. This one, you're gonna select B to go to that menu, and then you press A to turn the lights off. and then B to confirm it, basically. If that doesn't make sense, please let me know. A note, something to note here, y'all, Tamagotchis, they, turn the lights on by themselves, but when they go to bed, they can't turn the lights off. You have to turn them off. So, basically, you have to know your Tamagotchi schedule. Because if you don't turn the lights off, that does count as a care mistake. And that will kill your Tamagotchi, unfortunately. So yeah, make sure you turn the lights off. Make sure you know your Tamagotchi schedule. Okay, so if you press A 3 times, that'll get you to the game. This one is interesting. Because when you press B, you're automatically in the game. And again, I'm on Gen 1, but it's basically the same thing. It's a guessing game. It's gonna be for us who are completely blind. And Gen 1 has a game where you have to guess what direction it goes. A is left, B is right. And you're gonna hear like a little melody, or not a melody, like a, kind of like a little tune. And then you're gonna hear beep, 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 beep. And that's basically telling you to guess. So when you hear that beep, 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 you press A or B. And trust me, you'll know it'll go beep, beep when you're wrong. And it'll make another noise when you're right, which I can't really imitate. Like I said, you play that game after you feed. I always play it after I feed Tamagotchi because it's kind of like, I always think of it like exercising. So you play that game after you feed your Tamagotchi to get the weight down. That's how you get the weight down and increase happiness. I personally play the game 6 rounds. 6 times, 6 rounds. Whatever you guys want to call it, that's what I do. If you want to exit out of the game, you're gonna press C. Remember, C is always your exit button. Alright? So now, let's say your Tamagotchi gets sick. You're gonna press A 4 times to get to the medicine menu. And then you press B to start getting it medicine. Now, I personally press B 4 times if it's sick, and if that doesn't work, I give it another 4 more just in case, because obviously I can't see what's on the screen. And I'll tell you guys how I know this in a little bit. So yeah, pressing A 4 times gets you to the medicine menu, and then B will help it give medicine. So if you press A 5 times, and then you select B, it starts giving the Tamagotchi a shower or a bath. Why, you ask? Well, like every other person or animal or living thing, Tamagotchis poop. Yes, they poop. So you're gonna want to clean up the poop. And if you don't, Tamagotchi will get sick. You can't leave the poop hanging on the Tamagotchi for too long. After I feed my Tamagotchi, I always at least clean it every 15 minutes in that first hour after feeding it, just to make sure that it's clean. Because obviously I can't see when a Tamagotchi poops. So yeah, again, pressing A 5 times and then selecting B will clean it. I always select B twice because I just want to make sure it's clean. Now, if you press A 6 times, this one, to be honest with y'all, I don't really use. But if your strategy might use it, this is like I'm going to call the stats. The stats for your Tamagotchi. So it shows its weight, its hungry meter, its happy meter, discipline, all that. As someone who's blind, I can't see that stuff. So I don't ever use that one. Maybe if you're low vision, you can tell us your experience with it, or if you're sighted, tell us how that one works in the comments. But I have no idea how that works because I can't use it. So, yeah. Now the last one in the menu is the 7th, if you press A 7 times. And this is a discipline. Now, when you discipline it, you'll know because it'll make this really cool sound. And I hate to say this because it sounds mean, but I love the way that sounds, like the discipline sounds. It sounds cool, like the way the Tamagotchi makes it sound like it's discipline. But at the same time, disciplining, like any parent, it's kind of sad. I also wanted to make sure y'all know, when you discipline your Tamagotchi, it takes one happy heart off, so be careful. Now, this is gonna be where it's getting a little complicated, right? So let's say your okay, so the way you know that your Tamagotchi needs to be disciplined, if you know you just fed, cleaned, and played with your Tamagotchi, you know you just fed it, everything's fine, then you'll press A 7 times and then select B, and you'll hear that noise. You know for sure it needs to be disciplined. If it doesn't make that noise, that can mean either a few other things. One, it's sick. Or two, it needs, it's asleep and it needs the lights turned off. And again, it's easy to know that when it's asleep, if you know the sleep schedules of the Tamagotchis. And there is, it's accessible, you can find it, if you Google it, they do tell you the schedules of Tamagotchis. I think babies are 7, teens are 8, no, I think it's babies are 8, teens are 9, adults are 10, I think. If I'm wrong, please let me know. That's how you know your Tamagotchi is asleep, so pay attention to the time too. Or whatever time schedule you have it on. Again, if discipline doesn't work, it could be sick. So that's when you want to go to the medicine menu, which again, you press A 4 times and select B a few times to give it medicine. And you wait for that. And then the reason I know if it's if it needs to be disciplined, if it's sick, is what I do is I go straight to the game. So like if it beeps at me and it needs to be disciplined, and I go play the game and it beeps and it doesn't start the game, then like I said, I go to discipline first, and if that doesn't work, then I give it medicine. That's how I know. And again, I know if it's asleep because I know my Tamagotchi's schedule, when it goes to sleep, when it wakes up, and all that. What else? I'm trying to think what else. Oh, okay. So this one's gonna be a little interesting too. There is a quote pause and quote function. I forgot to say this at the beginning. If you guys press B by itself, that's how you bring up the clock screen. Now, let's say you have, I don't know, a huge project at work to do, or a final in school to do, in college, or high school, or whatever how age you are, right? Something you just cannot take care of your Tamagotchi. You're on vacation. Something, right? Well, there is a quote pause quote function. And what it does is it pauses the time, so the Tamagotchi won't die on you. So let's say you pause your Tamagotchi at, I don't know, I'm gonna pick a random time, 10:45. and then you unpause it at 7:15. Well, that Tamagotchi's on your screen, on the Tamagotchi's brain, it's still 10 whatever I said. So you gotta be careful on that. Another cool thing I just learned is, let's say, and this is kind of hard to do, so maybe asking a sighted person to help you would be easier, but let's say you wanted to set your Tamagotchi on a certain schedule. Like, you wake up at, I don't know, let's say you don't wake up at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, right? Let's say you wake up at 12 o'clock. Like, I have a weird schedule, right? When I sleep, I have a weird sleep schedule. So, what you're gonna do is, once your Tamagotchi wakes up, it'll be like 8, it'll be like 7, 8, 9, something like that. Once it wakes up, don't do anything, pause it. And then once you wake up, like at 12, then you unpause it. That way the Tamagotchi will be on your schedule, and it'll wake up on your schedule. Now to do this, you're gonna press B, and then you're gonna press A and C together. And you're gonna hold them for maybe 4, 5, or 6 seconds. And for sighted people, apparently, like, the digits or the numbers on the screen are blinking. We can't see that, but I have tested it out, and I had to do trial and error because it was still beeping at me at one point, so I had to ask again. Shout out Tamagotchi.com. Why it was still beeping, and they said I had to hold it down. So yeah, once you hold it down, it's paused, and that's how you pause it. And now I unpause it by pressing B and then C twice to exit out and make sure I'm exit out. That's why I pressed C twice. Another thing to note, shout out Tamagotchi.com again, if you feed your Tamagotchi snacks, it's gonna remember that. It's gonna be on that same menu. So, what you're gonna do if you feed Tamagotchi snacks, especially when it's a baby, is when you press A to feed it, B to select, right? It's gonna remember that you have fed it a snack the last time. So just press C, and you'll be in the regular main food menu. And then you press A once, that's the meal, and then select B to start feeding it. Easy, right? What else? Just a little description. The only thing that's visual that you guys really might need help with is basically seeing what the Tamagotchi actually looks like. I know, like, when they're babies, for a while, they just look like big blobs. That's all they are. And then, once they start evolving, they start growing wings or legs or whatever. It depends on what kind of Tamagotchi you get, and how you raise it is what it's gonna turn out to be. So take good care of your Tamas, y'all. What else? Oh, okay. So for blind people, for us, everything sounds the same. There's only a few noises on this Tamagotchi that are different. The discipline noise is different. Like when you select B to discipline it, you'll know because you'll hear that cool noise. It sounds like kind of like a music scale, like you're going down it or something. The game, when you select B, when you press A every time and then press B to start the game, it'll make that melody noise, and then beep, beep, beep. That's how you know you're in the game. And then the evolving noise. Everything else sounds the same, so make sure that you follow this guide. That way you know what you're doing. Also, I do have a text guide I wrote out. If you guys want it, just hit me up on YouTube, message me, and I'll email it to you. In case this one's still confusing. I think that's it for Tamagotchi. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment. Again, if you have any questions, this is for blind people, but this is for anybody really, but this is just a way to explain it to blind people so that we understand, because we won't get symbols. A lot of these guys have symbols, and I don't know what they're talking about. Any blind person wouldn't know what they're talking about. So this is just kind of my way of helping out, because blind people are able to play Tamagotchi just like anybody else can. I know a lot of parents didn't think that it's possible, but it is. You just have to work around things. But this video is for blind people, but sighted people definitely, hopefully I could help y'all out too. I know there's a lot of guides out there, but hopefully this helps. Also, I do have a podcast. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. It's called Hip Hop in the After Hours. If you want to check it out, if you're into music like that, it's called Hip Hop in the After Hours. You can find it everywhere. It's under my name, Platinum B, PLATNUMB. Just search it in your podcast player or in the podcast store or whatever. Apple, Anchor, TuneIn, Spotify, all that. It's there, and I'll put it in the description. Again, I hope you guys like this video. If it helps you guys, I hope it did. Again, I do have a text copy of the guide for blind people, or sighted if you ever wanted to. Sighted people definitely can have it as well. That explains the menus without symbols and all that stuff. Hit me up on YouTube and I'll email it to you. Again, I'll put my podcast in the description in case you want to check it out. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Peace.